Hey gamers and Beatles fans, I suppose. Turning up my gain a little bit. Okay. Um, so, hang on, camera's not on yet. There we go. Excuse the mess. Whatever. So we're gonna be playing Euro Truck Simulator today, but mostly as an excuse to vibe. Where even is it? I uninstalled it. Great. So we're not going to be doing that. We're actually going to be playing Minecraft. Minecraft. There we go. That's the game that I mentioned. I cocked myself, yeah. I was like, oh, when was the last time we played Euro Truck Simulator? Uninstall that. Where should I even be here? Oh, that looks good. Minecraft has to update. So, how are you guys? Um, how is it going? I am tired. I only just woke up. Uh, oh. Had a little bit of weed last night, which makes me really sleep heavily. And this out good? Yeah, I did. See, aren't we all having fun with the hot gameplay on screen? Downloading update files. There we go. We are Alexandrite. Not sign into Minecraft. Listen, everything is always a disaster. Sometimes you get emailed. Feel like that wasn't the right email. We've emailed a code to this. I'm going hiking a bit. Nice. Uh, boom, 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 boom. Are you looking forward to hiking? There we go. I'm logged in. Okay, thank God. I remember when you didn't have to log into Minecraft. Not really, but we already committed. That's fair. Maybe once you get out there, it will be more fun. So, it should be pretty up there. Up there? Like, in height? So, the Beatles video is out. It's been out for like 2 days now. A day and a half. Um, and I'm really glad that people have been able to see it and stuff. Oh, it should be pretty up where we're going. That's why grammar matters. So I wanted to do this stream partly just to stream, but also in case people had questions, since so many people were very engaged with the live stream and stuff. How is your ongoing post-release Mentee B? It's going better. The night of, and then a bit of yesterday, I was not doing fantastically. Um, I was sad and feeling pretty like lonely and stuff. But you know, I'm doing a little better now. And there is Minecraft. Oh, Oak Core. I didn't even know I haven't played this in a year. Good morning, Woozles. How are you? I guess it's my hardcore game. Nope. Okay, I've got some stuff going around here. There's a bird. Nope. He disappeared. Okay. So this is basically just backdrop for me to talk. So yeah, I'm really pleased to have the video out. It, it's been a huge labor of love, for over a year. What's funny is that in the urine review video last year where Sandra was like, oh, Oak is thinking about doing this Beatles video, even though it's not something that, man, I have a fuck ton of stuff. And Susan's Jellicle cat skin. I was already, like, working on it by that point. I hadn't started scripting yet. No, I think I did start scripting, because I started scripting in November, I think. Gonna do a year in review this year. I hope we're able to. But if we can't get to it today, we can't get to it today. We like to post it by the 31st, generally. We'll see. Ooh, village. If we have the energy. And if we can get Sandra out. Because this year has been kind of crazy, and we should definitely discuss it. Wow, a big village, too. I mean, we went back to school. We got to see the Evergreens like 4 times. We, did the Beatles video. Hi. Yeah, I know, I did do the Beatles video. That is a spoiler. I might as well have a... Is this bird mine? Yep, I guess. Was that villager naked? I don't think so. I don't think they can be naked.
Sorry, buddy.
What'd you do to Archer?
I accidentally nudged him because I didn't know he was there.
Oh no.
Did I accidentally nudge your butt?
Yeah. So if anyone has any questions about the video, I'm more than happy to answer. Like I said, it's been over a year in the making, and there was plenty of stuff that I didn't put in the video that I definitely could have talked about with a lot of these things. Where, like, I definitely originally planned to talk about Yoko more in the Get Back section originally. because there is a lot to talk about with her in there, because she's more I mean, everyone is more prominent in that. But she and John do these morning freakouts where they both just like, scream into a microphone for a while, and we get, man, they're fucking stalagmites now. We get a lot of that in there. I think at one point Heather joins them for one, which is cute. So yeah, there's a lot of things like that where there's so much to talk about with each movie generally, except for, things like what's happening to the Beatles in USA and stuff like that. Man, the music is getting fucking inspirational here. And what segment did you get done quickest from writing to completing editing? I think Backbeat. I think that was one that I watched and then wrote right away and then filmed right away. The editing for that one took a little while because it's a kind of long segment. And it was longer. I went on a much longer rant originally about the portrayal of John as gay. In kind of these movies as a whole. I feel like I ain't coming back if I go down here, but yeah, Backbeat was almost certainly the one I did the quickest. The one I did the slowest was Get Back, which took a year from watching to finishing. And I still think that one turned out well, though. I'm being shot at. Goodbye. Actually, like, in this mossy cobblestone, I think. Yeah, I think there's a dungeon in here. Hey. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I had a long rant about the idea of John, like, vehemently fighting the idea that he was gay. Because in real life, Yoko has said that both of them are bisexual. And whoop. Oh, fuck. Don't die. I died. And yeah, they were both bisexual, and there was like media suggestion in the media that after John and Brian got back from fucking Barcelona, that they fucked. Like, the media basically asked them, and John was like, sure, whatever. Man, there's a whole like tab here now. Game rules? What? Elytra movement check? Require recipe for crafting? Deal drowning damage? The hell? Forgive dead players. That's crazy. Weird. Sorry, I've just not seen all this shit yet. Yeah, and so I wanted to write about how there's such a difference in the portrayal, the "Don't Call Me Yay" portrayal in, especially in Backbeat, to to real life. Um, Also nice snowy area here. Besides Get Back, what was the hardest to write? Oh man. Hardest to write. Not Hours and Times. Fuck, what was one I Across the Universe was pretty hard to write. Um it's Across the Universe. Man, now I'm forgetting what the fuck is in my video. Honestly, some of the two that didn't make it into the video were the ones that were hardest to write. I'm literally bringing up the script. I think the Ruddles ended up being kind of hard to write. And yeah, I think the Ruddles and Across the Universe were both very hard. How many pages did the script end up? 51 in total. Also, it's your Minecraft skin. Ooh, wrong button. Susan's Jellicle Cat skin. Yeah, V also says that I went off way more about Brian Epstein in the Ruddles being essentially portrayed as a pedophile, and V was like, your audience knows this is fucked up. Which, like, yeah, I guess because it was kind of a goal for me to. One of the kind of fatal flaws with the Ari Aster video that Claudia made a few years back was that um she didn't expect it to go beyond our little audience sphere. Um and so I wanted to make sure that if it did, people one knew that we weren't right-wing weirdos somehow. Especially me openly saying like I'm a guy. Uh which is part of me mentioning I'm bisexual and stuff so often. And but like I think part of the reason I went off so hard on that originally was because I was like, I think there are some people that genuinely don't know that this is fucked up. Or how fucked up it is or why. But no, V was right, and she said as well here, I had to cut some of the bummer slash heavy materials throughout. I had like a brief aside and Let It Be about how their longtime roadie was killed by police in the early 70s, I think like 74. Um, yeah, he was like shooting people outside with a BB gun, and like four cops busted into his apartment and fucking killed him. Um, which like he shouldn't have been doing that, but like he had a BB gun. Anyway, um, that was one of the things that V had me cut, and I knew that one was kind of a maybe as well. Yeah, I also had stuff that you told me to cut because it was triggering, like a little bit longer about Marina Abramovich's Rhythm Zero, where I just include more clips of her talking about it. And V1 correctly pointed out that if somebody is watching the video and they like hear about this, there is a good chance that they're like, wait, I want to hear more about this, and they're no longer watching the video. But also because there's some triggering stuff in it. When you're filming this with the script, do you memorize chunks to film, or do you have the script up somewhere? Both. So I do have the script up somewhere. There are a couple of moments where you can see me reading from a script, and that was originally supposed to have B-roll over it, and I got lazy, or didn't notice until it was done that I was looking at the script. Where I would memorize a sentence or two at a time, film that, and then move on to the next bit. Give myself a couple of takes to work with. A goat. Yeah, man. It, yeah, I would, the process was that I would write, I would write the script. Um, I would print it out, and I would tape it to the stand that I had my phone on recording. And I would like read it off of there because I didn't want to like turn to the side and like look at it um or have it like too far below. That was very difficult as well when we've done that in the past for the couple of other videos we've had a script for, because we don't often have a script, because we feel it makes us sound pretty wooden overall, like Pinocchio. Don't know. um but for this one, like, I needed a script. I couldn't improv about all these movies, especially because like I have shit that I want to say in particular about a lot of them. um Whereas a lot of Claudia's Ari Aster script is just bullet points that she kind of riffed on. um but I'm a different, like, sort of video writer to Claudia. I like my shit more meticulously written. Um, especially for jokes and things. Basically, every joke was in the script. There are some that I added like in the moment, like the Pete Best backbeat. Like, people ask you how you are, and you have to say that you're fine. That bit was something that I thought of in the moment. Um, Based Beyond Belief was something that I thought of during Hard Day's Night. Hang on. I thought I was gonna sneeze. Um, I thought while recording Hard Day's Night, because originally I just said out loud, like, based as hell. And I think a couple of days before I had seen that video, I was like, I literally said to myself while recording, I was like, hey, me editing, here's a thought. Use the video of Jonathan Frakes going, it's based. And I was originally just going to do it there, but then there was, two of us where John all straight up says all cops are bastards. So I had to use its based again, and then rule of three dictates that I gotta use it again, but you gotta change it up. And I was like, you know what's not based? The treatment of Paco's ideas in Across the Universe. I also went off about him being a white guy named Paco. But V alleges that that is not an unusual thing. So, oh yeah, the Octopus's Garden joke at the end of the like cover version script summary. I added that in so last minute that V didn't even see it properly until the premiere, or like see it in context. Like I sent her the file of me doing that, and she was like, "This is funny," and I just like stuck it in at the end of the script summary because like originally I just had it with Jay as Dan being like, it doesn't matter. Excuse me. And I kept looking at how the bottom it said uh like Octopus's Garden begins to play as the camera pans out. And I was like, I need to include that. Oh, the other Octopus's Garden joke in yesterday after V's #1 hilarious Pompeii joke. The joke that officially made her co-writer. Um, or assistant writer, rather. Uh, so, yeah, that one, literally, like, as I was saying it, I had Ringo probably didn't visit an Octopus's Garden written out, and I was just like, as fun as that would be, it makes me laugh oftentimes when I rewatch it. Um, I'm very proud of my delivery in that moment. Um, so yeah, even though it is scripted, there is some stuff that was improvised and still some stuff that was put in last minute, essentially. Um, which is just like the creative process in a lot of ways, I guess. I'm digging myself a little hidey hole here. Uh, that's a door? Yeah. It's been a few decades since I personally have played Minecraft. Um, fucking go. More torches than I will need for a while. Um, yeah, I do say it very wistfully. As fun as that would be. The two jokes that are V's are it's Pompeii joke and the AO3 joke. Yeah, V wrote all of the tags on the AO3, um, the AO3 bit. I made others that went in while we would often riff together while watching something, but I'm happiest about those. Yeah, those are distinctly yours. Um, like, oh yeah, the AO3 joke. Let me go and I think I have the drive plugged in right now. Yeah, I do. I want to read the AO3 tags because V made the tags. I made the summary and the notes. Um, so the tags are fandom, the Beatles band, categories female, male, and male, male. Relationships, Brian slash John, John slash original female character, Cynthia slash John. Characters, Brian, John, Cynthia, original female character, original male character. Additional tags, alcohol, angst, Barcelona, spelled that way. Character study, domestic, erotic bathing, first time, friends to lovers, infidelity, jealousy, kissing, no smut, period typical homophobia, pining, scotch and coke, slow burn, tension, unrequited. Um, and the summary says John and Brian fly to Barcelona so John can get some much needed R&R, With 4 days alone together, can John and Brian resist each other? And then the note says, "This has been a huge passion project for me over the last few years," which it actually was for Christopher Minch. I really hope you all enjoy it and think that it's gay enough. And I'd be really crushed if a YouTuber made a video saying he didn't think it was that gay, frowny face. Um, which I really enjoy jokes that are on screen for like 1 second. Uh, like that's that's very much my style for a video. Yeah, Scotch and Coke. That's I think both Brian and John order that at the gay bar. Um, the TikTok joke too. Yeah, your note was that John looked like or George looked like he was filming a TikTok, and I didn't even really get it until I started like doing it. Um, yeah, the TikTok bit has so many jokes in it. Um, like his username is Dark Horse, which is the name of his George's record company after he went solo. Um, he was actually the first Beatle to, I think, get a #1 hit after uh after the band broke up. I should pull it up. Hang on, because I don't have a screenshot of it, so I have to go into like one of my rough cuts here, or the final cut. Visuals on film final. I'm Oak Alexandrite, and who's this guy? A bit of a break from our usual topic and format. That's at like what, 30 minutes? Nope, that's Yellow Submarine already. Flying is their friend. As I mentioned, the rest. That's Brian Epstein. His secret identity on live television. Feels shitty to me check my phone. I think Bingo quit started the I don't know. I think this movie, which is a nice change of pace. I don't know though. The visuals aren't much. The video is only 3.5 hours. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Display capture? Yeah, there we go. So, as you can see here, this was a pain in the ass to do, for the record. I had to splice like 4 different things together to make this. And like the icon here is a picture of George with like googly eyes on him that I believe is an actual photo of him. His username is Dark Horse, just sitting here on hashtag Blue Jay Way. Yep, and original song also. It like that. It's a 1 second joke that. Ooh, hang on. It's a 1 second joke that you will really have to like pause to fully see and appreciate. But that's something I like. I like doing that. Um, like the Rolling in the Deep uh cover. I worked hard on that. There are several like essentially alternate pictures of me. Um, yeah, I put a ton of energy into 1 second jokes. It's my whole thing. um, that was a pain to edit. Uh, I, this project made me learn how to use Photoshop to a small degree. um, yeah, I did have, I believe, you and Mads vote on which picture worked best, because I had a couple of them. Let me see if I can bring them up without fully exposing my Google Photos. So I worked hard on the vibe. The background is actually this black fur blanket that V got me. Um, you know, earlier this year just hung over our curtain rod. Um, which hang on, let's see. Okay, so let me bring up display capture again. So yeah, these are pre-photoshopped ones. I actually had like a big zit as well, which I photoshopped out. I think that's... Ooh, which one was the one that I ended up using? I think this is the one I ended up using. This was the other contender. Looked like a damn Renaissance painting even with the zit. Thank you. I tried really hard to make sure that my head was tilted slightly down. My eyes were closed, but very relaxed closed. And uh yeah, I think it turned out really, really damn well. Um I was surprised that by cranking up the contrast or the saturation or whatever, all the folds on the blanket here went away completely. Um it was a delight, to be honest. All right. Anything else I want to cook? I don't have food. Um, doing pretty good so far. Probably make myself some armor. Just gonna poo bear it here. Unless... No, I don't have enough. I have enough for a helmet. There we go. No pants. No pants necessary. Um, which was your favorite video to see mine and Mads' reactions to? Man. Sergeant Pepper, I think. Oh, what was your favorite film? Oh, you mean which section, right? Not the film itself. Because most of these were first time watch for both of us. Um, I I think the Sergeant Pepper section. No, the film. Um, man, Sergeant Pepper as well, kind of. Um, I think Magical Mystery Tour was also kind of fun because like me begging V to finish it with me was a true story. We were literally 15 minutes from the end. V was like, I'm not sure I can do this. I was like, V, there's only 15 minutes left, please. um, Hours and Times was also interesting to do a little watch of. Um, little watch, I don't know why I'm saying it that way. Do a little watch of. Oh, you know what was the most fun? Yesterday. Because I had seen that one already. And fun in a little bit of a mean way where I knew that the film was about to faceplant halfway through. And V didn't. And it was kind of like I wanted to see if it was just me. You know? Me and Mads. Because Mads saw it in theaters with us. But no, it turns out that, in general, people agree that that's stupid and it sucks. For something with kind of interesting visuals, Magical Mystery Tour is torture to watch. It really is. It's so bad to watch. Is it fucking daytime yet? No. I never made a sword. Um, should have saved some iron. Whatever. So, yeah, really interesting premise turning into a boring ass love story with no conflict. Honestly, Jack Barth is right about some things. He kind of is in a couple of ways. He's wrong that his version would have been better, though. Like 100% incorrect. His version would have actually been worse. Um, basically dawn. How the fuck do I get up there? Might as well get this coal while I'm here. Oh, I see. Here's skeleton. Yeah, that was an interesting watch. Ed Sheeran voice. That was an interesting moment. There we go. Ah. No, no, skeleton. Skeleton. Oof. Eat shit, buddy. Oh god, what else is there to talk about with this? There's some stuff that I am saving for the director's commentary. Us watching Across the Universe together last June was also really fun for me. It was fun for me too. That was a good time. And yeah, it was one of the things that sort of inspired the Beatles video. I don't remember what the exact point was where I had this idea, or like in full had this idea. I don't even remember when it kind of like spiraled out of control. I think basically immediately. I also like have a I have a note on my phone, or a list on my phone titled Ringo videos if I decide I'm insane, or Ringo movies if I decide I'm insane. Because Ringo starred in like fucking 9 or 10 movies on his own because he was an actor for a while. Just one. Alright. And that might be a follow-up at some point. You know, if this video does well, if people really like it and stuff, I will put in the effort to do the Ringo video. I heard sort of nonchalant, yeah, I think I liked this movie, to sing along the entire time and crying, yeah. One thing that I forgot to put into the script was, how many fucking random extras in that movie just put their whole pussy into their 3 seconds of screen time. Like that guy in Come Together that I point out, that just kind of, that does some crazy ass flips and shit. There's so many things that, like, I wanted to say or I had notes to say, but either I cut it for time or I just straight up forgot to put it in there. So much stuff falls on the cutting room floor when you're doing this. Like, yeah, the mention earlier, the mention of John being bisexual and Yoko being bisexual as well, bisexual queen. Just didn't happen. Just wasn't super feasible, I guess. It just slowed the pacing to a halt. It was to the point where I was bored watching that section of the video. Oh my god, oh my god. What the fuck is happening? Help, help, help me if you can. How do I do, what am I What is happening? Help. Help, I'm dying. Someone. Okay. Okay. What the fuck? Ah! I see. Okay. I mean, how do you escape a prison made of snow? One bite at a time. So powdered snow, huh? Um, yeah. Fucking anyway. Um, I did a lot of things, and V was very much you know, very much the biggest proponent of like keeping the video moving. There were a lot of segments that V felt I should cut, but I left in. Like entire films, basically. Almost entirely the documentaries. Um, but I felt the documentaries were pretty important in a lot of ways. She also wanted me to reorder the video a few times, which I completely understand. Because she felt like the documentaries would lose people. Um, but I felt that the first couple of documentaries are boring, but they're all short. I think that up until Best of the Beatles is maybe 10 minutes long. And then Best of the Beatles reels people back in. That's one of my favorite segments in the entire video. It's kind of like, what the fuck is this? You know? Um, and then we get Beatles and India, which is a little bit boring, but also provides an interesting uh, perspective, and it kind of links back to Help, you know, because that guy says it was offending a lot of Indians, making it look like India was full of quote bloodthirsty thug cults. Um, and yeah, the documentary section is still my least favorite, but it works. Yeah, because I get to call back to so many things uh, later on. Like, I can't cut what's happening the Beatles in the USA because it's something that I want to talk about in the Ruddles. Like once I noticed it. Um, Plus, like they're all so short in general, and then Get Back kind of reels people back in. And then we go right to the other ones, which is the majority of the video. He also wanted me to reorder the everything else section to have Sergeant Pepper and Across the Universe one after another. But I insisted that everyone be in chronological order. Um, which just very coincidentally put all three What If John Was Gay movies right next to each other. Um, I think it works where like you watch Sergeant Pepper, and uh, then there's like this weird trilogy of like what if what if John was gay, and then you go to Across the Universe, which kind of reminds you of Sergeant Pepper. Um, I tagged some stuff in our server of you talking about the video early on. Tagged some stuff in our like you oh yeah, here we go. October 26th, 2022. Oh, so this was shortly after I got laid off. I think I'm gonna start working on a video where I watch every Beatles movie. Forrest at 1 a.m., so like 3 hours later, says, that's a cool idea. V wants to watch one with you. And Claudia later says that makes him very happy. Um, then, let's see. I said to V, the socks I knit her legitimately are probably worth like $900 if I charge by the hour what I used or what I used to make at my old job. And she says that she's repaying me in hours of consuming Beatles content. Very true. Um, and what is this one? Oh, I was. This was when I was looking for the Beatles in Australia, and I found one on YouTube. It was the Beatles live in Australia in 1964 full concert. And I say it's really hard to tell if this is the documentary or if there's more because the Shea Stadium one was like an hour. Okay, maybe this was it. There's no more info on Wikipedia than a documentary that follows their 64 tour of Australia. And V insisted I can just allow some to be lost to the sands of time. Uh, and I said the full list of documentaries is 19 films, and I pared it down to like 6, which is true. There were live documentaries, and that's why in that section I note that like I didn't watch every single one because I fucking couldn't. I love the cherry blossoms. Um, yeah, because it was like somebody actually asked me in the comments last night, why I didn't cover the complete Beatles, which is a documentary. And I was like, so basically the reason I didn't do that is because it was made in like 2000, and if I was going to cover a documentary, it needed to be about. There were kind of like three rules. It needed to be about all of the Beatles. And it needed to be either from when they were together. I'm wary of this snow. Um, need to be from when they were all together, or it needed to be like a unique perspective if it was a modern one. So like Best of the Beatles or Beatles and India. Get Back to a degree, because I think Get Back definitely counts where it's like it's a new perspective on a documentary we've already seen. Sorry, cow. Um, it's just like I couldn't possibly cover everything without making the video 9 hours long. And listen, as much as I love watching Quentin reviews. Um, I could not do a 9 hour video, and I think that Quentin shouldn't have done a 9 hour video for the end of Sam and Cat. But it was still very good overall. Uh, it was just that like I need to make it realistic. Like there were some movies that had a little to do with the Beatles. There was one that was like, what the fuck was that film? Hang on. Wikipedia list of Beatles films. Films about the Beatles. I know there was Beatles in film. Here we go. Fictionalized Beatles. Birth of the Beatles, biographical film focused on the early history of the Beatles. Beatlemania, the movie, a film adaptation of the Broadway show of the same name. Give My Regards to Broad Street. a film that covers a fictional day in the life of Paul McCartney, starring Paul McCartney as a fictionalized version of himself. Um, John and Yoko, a love story, which concludes with John's murder. The Hours and Times, that's where I found out about that. Backbeat, the Linda McCartney story, a television film covering the relationship between Paul and Linda. Two of Us, I guess I saw originally, but then decided it wasn't good, and then I found out it was gay from Tumblr. Um, My Dinner with Jimmy, an autobiographical film that tells the story of Howard Kalin and his band The Turtles' first tour of England, where they met many British rock stars, including the Beatles. The Killing of John Lennon, uh, another Mark David Chapman movie starring Jared Leto as Mark David Chapman. Um, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Oh, they encounter the Beatles at one point. Nowhere Boy, a John Lennon biopic. Lennon Naked, a television film based on Lennon's life from 67 to 71. Ooh, starring Christopher Eccleston as John Lennon. Um, Playhouse presents Snodgrass, a television episode wondering what Lennon's life would have been like if he quit the Beatles in 62. Cilla, a miniseries about the early career of Cilla Black that features the Beatles, Brian Epstein, and George Martin in supporting roles. She was in around the Beatles, and like inspired by that's just ones that star fictional Beatles, and then inspired by the Beatles, a Tagalog musical made in the Philippines, Pinoy Beatles. The Girls on the Beach, a beach party film in which college sorority members mistakenly believe the Beatles are going to perform at their fundraiser. Like, I Want to Hold Your Hand, a coming of age film about Beatlemania and is a fictionalized account of February 9th, 1964, the Beatles' first appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show. Yesterday, 1985, a band of four teenagers play a concert full of Beatles hits for their high school graduation. Like, most of these I didn't pick sound fucking boring. A film about five Australian teenagers who get locked in the basement of a hotel where the Beatles are staying. I Am Sam, a drama film about the story of an intellectually disabled father who loves the Beatles and his efforts to regain custody of his daughter. It's because like a lot of these aren't about the Beatles really. Um, there are so many. Yeah, I'm skipping some of them too. Beatles, a Norwegian film based on Lars Saeb Christensen's novel Beatles. The plot centers around four friends growing up in Oslo in the 60s who occasionally think of themselves as the Fab Four. What the fuck does that mean? It's just like, it's too much. And this doesn't even have fucking, um, like the living, no, the Last Will and Testament of George Harrison, which is a Paul is Dead conspiracy movie. Last Will and Testament of George Harrison. I wrote Harrison. Yeah, Paul McCartney is really dead. The Last Testament of George Harrison, 2010. Uh, DVD Talk severely criticized Gilbert's 2010 work, Paul McCartney Really Is Dead, The Last Testament of George Harrison. Paul Mavis wrote, Jesus, I hate documentaries like this one. I mean, they really hit me where I live. Of course, it's utterly mad. Anyone can see it's been faked. This scenario doesn't even make any sense. Nothing here is believable. Mavis said that the alleged conspiracy, quote, holds zero weight. I don't know who Paul Mavis is, for the record. Not one element of the conspiracy theory holds up to factual scrutiny, and quite clearly and most obvious of all, Paul McCartney is still around as living proof of the absurdity of the hoax. Excuse me, that's Billy Shears, actually. That's William Campbell Shears. He got plastic surgery to uh, change his face to look more like Paul McCartney after coming third in a Paul McCartney look-alike contest. And he used to work for the Ontario Police Department, OPD, and that's why there is a badge with OPD on it in the inner sleeve of Magical Mystery Tour, and in that's why in She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, he says, and so I quit the police department and got myself a steady job. And the song I'm Looking Through You, the only difference is you're down there. I'm looking through you and you're not there. I could go on. I said in the video I was really ironically into this conspiracy theory when I was young. Make a Paul is dead video. I considered it. I mean, we made that podcast episode that I wrote and Claudia delivered. Um, that's Red String Roundup. You can find that on the feed for the podcast. Mine's there, but for the grace of Pod go we. Oh yeah, I should eat food in game and also in real life. Yeah, it's okay to lose your mind now. You made the video. The thing is that like I'm just kind of like pulling these from my memory. There was one site that had it like really cataloged, and like on the site it did specifically say like we don't really believe this, but it's fun to collect all of the clues. They even point out like the clues from these specific albums don't even line up with the conspiracy theory because they came out before Paul allegedly died. Um, it's stuff like that, you know. But that site doesn't seem to exist anymore, which drives me crazy. I can't even remember at all what the name of the site was. Got my crafting table. Whatever. Yeah, a lot of the clues are like so much of a reach, and I think that's part of the humor of it in a lot of ways. Or what I find humorous about it. And some of them are like, wow, there is kind of, if you look at it this way, this weird running theme across these songs. But it is coincidence. It's not even the Beatles like leaning into it. It's because like the rumor only really started in 1969 after the band was almost broken up already. Like I think they were broken up when the rumor came out because a lot of theories about the theory are like I think this came about in a response to the Beatles no longer being together. It's like a new way to look at these works that they're passionate about. Which it is. I think it's a fun way to look at it. I can't listen to I'm So Tired, Don't Pass Me By, or I don't listen to Within You Without You because I think it kind of sucks, but that's the other like single Beatle lamenting Paul song. I also like how much the conspiracy theory like varies depending on what clues you're reading. Where like when he died, what exactly happened. The consistent parts are he died in 1966, but who knows the date. And it was in a car crash. He blew his mind out in a car. He didn't notice that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared. They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the House of Lords. Some people used to hear that as the House of Paul, even though, like, if you own the vinyl, the lyrics are on the back or in the inner sleeve. I forget which. So like, yeah. But anyway, that's Paul is dead. I didn't want to. I kind of one forgot about the last will and testament of George Harrison. Um, but two, I don't think I would have wanted to cover it anyway because I've always heard that it's kind of disrespectful and also just bad. um, Whereas I think all of the ones that are bad in the everything else section are bad in an interesting way. Like Sergeant Pepper is bad, but it's like it's because it's fucking insane all the time. Um, Hours and Times is bad, but it's gay. Yesterday is bad, but half of it is good. Cover version is bad, but it's an oddity. Like this was never made. This is what could have been. Um, so yeah, that's that. There are a fuck ton of movies, and I did see, I forget if it was Starlights or if it was Evergreen saying make a sequel, but yeah, and I the other one of you said that a proper one would take like 10 hours to make, and it's true. To give each movie its due diligence, one requires fucking tracking some of these down. I had such a hard time finding what's happening to the Beatles in the USA, and I could not find the original Australia documentary. I think I had the opportunity to buy it on eBay for like $50 or something, and I was considering it, but the only reason I didn't pull the trigger on that was because I wasn't sure if I was actually going to get what I wanted, or if I was going to get the thing that I could find on YouTube, which isn't it. Yeah, I'm curious to hear which one stuck out from the video most for other people. Like, what do people remember? What did people find the most interesting or fun sections to watch? Because my like top ones are Best of the Beatles, Sergeant Pepper, um, Yesterday. Those were the most uh, fun and interesting to make for me. And I think the ones that came out the most interesting. Um, Sergeant Pepper was so silly in a funny way. They were all such a good conversation, even though I was just watching you talk. I was most Soxes say they were most excited to hear yesterday, but had seen the live parts before the premiere. I can't believe that I didn't show you yesterday beforehand. I thought I did.
No.
I think I just showed you the look, Lise. You can see the exact moment when his heart rips in half.
Yeah.
Um, that bit was surprisingly hard to do. I had to go in and like frame by frame, like edit, uh, essentially green screen Bart, magenta screen Bart. Um, I couldn't green screen him because he's like yellow, and I think that would fuck it up. Um, yeah. So stuff like that. Um, I don't know why I said stuff like that. Uh, there's a lot of there are a lot of little jokes that take a lot of effort to make. The Magical Mystery Tour Freakout. That's what I've always referred to it as. Um, where I just go off about like the Beatles, the sort of like beginning of the end for the Beatles. Uh, that one took a while to assemble the graphics for, and like each graphic is up there for like 1 second. Wonder if I can find some sugarcane for pumpkin pie. Then we can have some fucking pie and do some caroling. Oh, there's some sugarcane. I'm being nomadic here right now. It's kind of wandering. Excuse me, sheep. Excuse me, sheep. Excuse me, thank you. Um, yeah, I'm curious if there are other questions from chat here about anything. I know I've been rambling a lot. I know I rambled about Paul is dead for a while. Um, damn, that mountain looks cool. So, yeah, it was a fun video to make. It's like wild to me that it's done now. Like I don't have to I don't have this thing to work on anymore. Because for a long time it was just in the back of my mind. Um V has said multiple times since I finished it, like she didn't think that I would ever finish it. And like even up until December, I was saying um I think in late October I started really buckling down because I wanted it to be done by the time the Evergreens got here in like mid-December, so that V and I could do a director's commentary together in person. Which we did, and it's fun, and patrons will get that soon. But I mean by this fall, I believe. Oh, okay. Yeah, when I really started buckling down on it, because previously it was like I would get a couple of sections done every couple of months. But then, like, beginning of November rolls around, and I fucking whip out the last 2.5 hours of it in the span of 2 months, essentially. Oh, man. There we go. And, like, it is something that, like, it's not even just that, like, wow, I've worked so hard on it for 14 months, because it wasn't, like, continuous 14 months of work exactly. It was, like, a lot of it was, like, the last 2 months, this is really, like, filled up what I'm doing in my life, and now I just don't have this project anymore. I'm done. And it's like, okay, what do I do now? And I finished the Alan Wake sweater last night for Vita. That's shipping off to Finland in, I don't know, the next week or something. Shoot. There we go. So it's like I kind of lack a big project right now. I'm actually considering making a short video as not as a follow-up, but as something that I've been thinking about the past couple of days because V and I watched Blue Eye Samurai, which if you can stand the gore in Blue Eye Samurai, watch Blue Eye Samurai. It's so fucking good. Um, and I'll give uh I don't know, a slight episode 1 spoiler, but if you oh, the poor bunny. The bunny fell off and died. Um a small episode 1 spoiler, and that's that uh our mysterious samurai man uh is essentially a trans man. Um but everyone, like, most of the people in the Tumblr tags refer to this character as she. Um, and it drives me fucking crazy because it's like, like he never refers to himself as she or as a woman, even during the points in the story where we see times where he like presented as a woman and looked so deeply uncomfortable doing so. Um, So I want to do some kind of short video about this series and transness, you know? Because I feel like I need to defend my boy, you know? Um, People are disrespecting him. And you know, I am kind of defensive of this character because I am in a lot of ways becoming a trans guy, you know? Like we're getting bottom surgery, but it's not something I want, it's something that I'm doing for the girls, you know? And it's like as they get less dysphoric, I get more dysphoric. But, you know, I'm okay. Um and so like I kind of want to talk about that. Maybe not exactly that, but yeah. Okay, I can now bye. All right, bye, B. Love you. Um yeah. So that is probably going to be my next follow-up. If I don't get bored of that idea within a month, I've started scripting it a tiny bit. Um, I honestly don't want to spend that much time on it. It would be like a fucking 20-minute video at the longest. Um, but the other big follow-ups I was thinking of, and this is in the director's commentary, but I'm okay saying some of this. One that I don't mention in the director's commentary, but I've thought about a lot the past couple of days uh is covering all of the games of David Cage, who did Heavy Rain, Detroit Become Human. I saw somebody mention Detroit Become Human earlier. So I want to talk about. I think that a couple of his games are really fucking good, but a couple of them are either really bad or really bad and just buck wild. Um, so yeah, that's one idea. Another idea was sort of like the history and lore of this other band that I like. Um, because they have like their own fictional lore around them. It's not gorillas. Um, so that was another thought. And like when I worked for a doctor's office, I would watch the same movie over and over again for like an entire day a lot of the time. Um, because when you have kids' movies playing in the front office and you're doing work, it's easier to hit play again once it's over than to go up and change the DVD every hour and a half. to 2 hours. So there are fucking dozens of movies that I've seen, dozens of times. And uh, it's something that might be fun to revisit. Ow. So yeah. Unless people have other questions, I think I'm gonna wrap up soon. Just kind of walking around in Minecraft. I'm not even really doing anything. But isn't that Minecraft in a lot of ways? Hey. Oh my fucking god. Well, okay, that's the stream. Unless anyone has any questions right now. Ugh. Ugh. Fuck. Yeah, I just wanted to do a brief Q&A to talk about some stuff and to say thank you and that, yeah, that I had fun doing this and I appreciate that people have enjoyed it so much. So yeah. Thank you so much. I will be back with another video at some point in the near future. You cannot stop me. So yeah. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.